Shalom, all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Harakakadash, the one is the elder apostles of the great millstone that rule well, and Shalom to all the brothers doing the work of sharing truth, pushing his word to the full corner, Shalom. Yeah, just funny little title, just, obviously Trump's, made his move in Iran, and is more or less drawn in all of the Middle East to kind of, everyone's getting hit with reflexive strikes. They took out like Khamenei, the head, but then even having done so, it's it's not gone the same way shit did with Venezuela, where they ripped out what's his face, Maduro, and then it more or less just folded over. This is on the Mirror. It says, U.S. commanders tell troops Trump anointed by Jesus to start Iran war, sparking hundreds of complaints. A non-profit U.S. military watchdog said it has received hundreds of complaints about commanders providing religious reasons for starting the Iran war. And it's funny because this war is happening because of scriptural reasons, for the sake of prophecy, sake of the truth. This word being fulfilled. But it's funny because it's the mindset, the belief they've kind of bred into the West is there's some kind of great glory to be found within America. There's people thinking America is the kingdom of heaven. They're basically thinking like, yo, now's when shit's gonna pop off in their favor, in America's favor, but they're not realizing, it's to their own demise. Because the damning new report found that evangelical Christian fundamentalism is underpinning U.S. military action in Iran, and that's gonna be part of what they present. But then the reality of the matter is gonna be it's for the sake of the elites. They're trying to cement a rule for themselves. That blessing Esau got with a sword, they're basically trying to cement it. They want to be the sword and the stone so they can endure through the ages. But it was just a short season, man, a little season that Esau needed to be loosed again. What was it, Revelation 20? It says what U.S. President Donald Trump announced Saturday that the U.S. and Israel launched a joint operation and struck Iran overnight, killing Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, among dozens of others across the region. The attack was launched amid Iranian nuclear negotiations and weeks of civil unrest in Iran due to economic turmoil. After the initial attack, Trump said heavy and pinpoint bombing would continue uninterrupted for the week, or as long as necessary to achieve our objective of peace throughout the Middle East and indeed the world, while calling for regime change. And man said peace, you just blown up the leader. So what's even going on? The operation comes less than a year after Trump ordered strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities in June 2025 during the 12-day war between Iran and Israel, during which the president claimed to have obliterated Iran's nuclear capabilities. Comes after a chilling map emerged revealing the 12 safest places to find refuge if World War III erupts. And now that's at the forefront of everyone's mind. Now it's become a reality. Because that's the thing, let me skip down and get to the point then. So it says, however, a fresh report found that hundreds of U.S. troops across dozens of units and installations have submitted complaints to a non-profit watchdog the Military Religious Freedom Foundation, since the attack about the combat unit commanders providing Christian reasoning for the war, during which at least 4 US troops have already been killed. I think it's up to 6, I believe now. But it's funny because even with, them saying Christian, bro, it's like you go to, the truth of the matter. It's not because of, with the Bible, Christianity, they're doing it. Just as the same with like the conquest of the US. They say they're doing it for the Bible. It's for the desires of the elite among Esau. Because as far as with, the scriptures, what they're claiming it from is not there. These men were, what was it? Was it Manifest Destiny? Which is true. They must needs take America, but then that doesn't mean they're exempt from the judgment that comes from the actions they did to conquest America, because that's the reality of the matter. Because what does it say? Non-commissioned officers who attended a briefing Monday told the MRFF that a combat unit commander urged us to tell our troops that this was all part of God's divine plan, and he specifically referenced numerous citations out of the book of Revelation referring to Armageddon, the mountain of the troops, and the imminent return of JC. The commander also argued that Trump's anointed by Jesus to light the the signal fire in Iran to cause Armageddon and mark his return to earth. And it's, these are things that are now, coming out. They're coming into the forefront because of why, prophecy really is been from the apostles, where all these prophecies have now been pushed more and more heavily to the forefront, to where people are looking at them like, damn. And these things are all happening in this current time. Now's the time where we're seeing all this come to pass. Funny as hell. Actually, not even that. Read this. 1 Thessalonians 5:1. It says, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them." Yeah, this is coming as a thief in the night. Because why? All these people are out here now thinking about like, the end coming. Everyone's what do you call it? Everyone's on edge. Everyone's feeling like, because why? The hell is that? Everyone's feeling that way because why? Now it's basically appearing before our very eyes. There's a point in time people are, ain't gonna be no World War III. I remember when Medvedev and Obizi were in. People are, you ain't gonna be no World War II, World War III. It's like, and lo and behold, now it's on the tongue. Everyone's thinking about, being drafted. World War III. How's it gonna affect different parts of their life, the cost of living, all these things? Because why? Now it's a reality. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Yeah, it's gonna hit them just like them birth pains must needs come to pass. Hey, it's gonna be real as all hell. 2 Ezra 9:1, it says, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it's the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made." And yeah, crazy, huh? Yeah, the highest will begin to visit the world which you made. And that's now become a reality. You know, these guys are talking about JC. They're thinking of, some white geezer. But it's gonna line up with Hosea 1, where, you have imposters currently being recognized as, the Hebrew Israelites, as the people of the Bible. They're gonna get it's gonna get flipped on them. It's gonna get flipped on them because why? The truth of who that applies to is gonna come out. Crazy. And then just, what it's gonna be evident who, Yahweh Shai is making his return for. It's gonna be evident who salvation's, coming for. It's gonna be evident. That's all applying to, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Because it says what? Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. And yeah, the end's manifest. Now's the time we're seeing those things come to pass. And it's cold as hell. That's funny as fuck. Now actually everyone's thinking about these things and meditating on it. Because why? That's a fit. There was a period of time you could have just, it was everyone's reminiscing back to a decade ago, 2016. Sweet 2016, man. When it was all bless up. It was nothing but YOLO. What was it? What was that one? Swag YOLO. Yeah, fucking hell. Swag and YOLO. Actually a time capsule. But those things that happened time and time again. Prior to 2008, the mid 2000s, people on, thinking everything bless up. Even with the 90s, man. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom, shalom.